Yes, what's happening? It's Kutski back on Twitch, back with another stream for the next 2 hours. The full spectrum of the harder styles of dance music. As I was saying, I want to try and mix things up a little bit just so I'm not playing the same tracks every night I'm coming on. So we're going to do little themes from time to time. And because I've got my music quite well organised over the years, thought it'd be fun this evening to do a retrospective on a specific year, a specific time. So, as I said, the full spectrum of the harder styles of dance music, hard dance, hard trance, hard style, hardcore, all of that good business, but specifically from the year 2011 this evening.
Hey, Kutski, let's take it back to the old school.
2011 was a great year for hard dance. Let's get into them beats.
A big disgrace, waving your banner all over the place. We will rock you, rock you. We will rock you, rock you. We will rock you, rock you. We will rock you. Waving your banner all over the place. We will rock you, rock you, rock you, rock you.
Shout out to Typewriter 5 in the chat. Staying locked for the next 2 hours. Bedroom dancing style, I like it. This one in the background now from 2011, the year in focus. A track by myself, Kutski versus Break 3. This is L4MP, better known as Lamp, and this is the ASYS remix. From the King of Acid, the German hard trance legend. Shout out to Jimbo. Says he was going to go for a run, but he's changed his mind now. He's going to watch the show instead. Hey man, get your headphones in, get on your phone, get out running, enjoy the fresh air. As I say when I'm locked in the studio. Well, you don't have to be. Let me know in the Twitch chat where you're locked in from around the world. Let's see what worldwide crew we've got in the house tonight.
You got it easy and are living good. If others live in vain because you're the clever ones, one day you'll see that this place is beautiful. And if the soldiers turn around and the heroes disappear, and if we start the war, don't laugh, because those shots you hear above your head, this time, they're for you.
your body. Let the beat control 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 your body.
Yes, I see. We've got an international crew in the house tonight. Shout out to Brighton, South Coast UK. Shout out to Philadelphia. Shout out to Perth, Scotland. Shout out to the Devon crew. Illinois checking in. Shout out to all the regulars in the chat. Shout out 9 Vapor, DJ Night Viper. Shout out to Jack. Shout out Warlord for life. The sounds of 2011 in the mix this evening. 360 degrees of the hardest styles for the next 2 hours, taking you through the journey, hard trance, through hard style onto hardcore and upwards. Maybe we can talk about some of the parties that went on back in that year. A bit of a history lesson later on in the show. But for now, let's get back into the beats.
Your body. Let the beat control your body. Control your body. Let the beat control your body. Let the beat control your body. Let the beat control your body. Control your body. Let the beat control your body. Let the beat control your body. Let the beat control your body. Control your body. Let the beat control your body. Let the beat control your body. Let the beat control your body. Control your body. Let the beat control your body. Let the beat control your body. Let the beat control your body.
Shout out to Shadow Knight for the subscription. Thank you very much. Appreciate the support. This one in the background now. Awesome track from Walt and Feely's Expansion. This is the Showtech remix. I've just been digging through the library of music that I can serve up for you for the next couple of hours. 2011 is the year in focus. Just looking through, I didn't plan this in advance, I just picked a year and was like, okay, we're doing 2011 tonight. So many bangers. I'm even seeing some of the harder stuff that I'm going to play later on in the show, and I'm like desperate to play it now, but I know I need to keep the mix on a steady curve. Don't want to shoot me load too early. Trust me, plenty of bangers taking you through. It's going to be big.
DJ Kutski in the mix.
Yeah, it should be a fun couple of hours indeed this. Just as I'm digging through, I'm seeing tracks that I don't even know what they are, which is kind of acceptable if they were by other artists, but I just found this one in the library now, entitled Baby D, Let Me Be Your Fantasy Kutski Mashup. Don't know what it is. I was tempted to have a little skip through then to see if it was terrible, so I don't have to play it out of embarrassment if it's really bad. But where's the fun in that? So here we go in the background now. Baby D, Let Me Be Your Fantasy, Kutski Mashup. Let's find out what it's all about.
Keeping the rave alive.
Kutski.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense. So this is 2011. I was going through my dubstep phase then. Didn't see that one coming. Looking back on it now, I think that, you know, drop could have done with a bit of foreshadowing, maybe a couple of dubstep noises before. That was like hitting you in the face with a baseball bat. This is quite fun, going back through some of the old classics. There we go. Sounds a bit more like what I would have expected. All good fun here on Twitch. If you want to help boost those numbers, copy the link for this channel, send it to a friend, let them know where all the best hard beats are at this evening. 360 Degrees, the hardest styles of dance music, 2011 showcase. Let's get back in the mix.
Keeping the rave alive.
Happy summer vibes. Just checking out the chat. Shout out Wee Maddo, Evil Inside. You mean the Evil Activities track? I'll have a dig through, see if I've got that one. It's got to be from 2011 though, remember. That's what we're at tonight. Shout out Subsonics. Wee Maddo again asking for Riverside by Sidney Sampson. I think that was 2011, and I think I've got some cool remixes that I'm going to dig through, see what I can find. A lot of cool bootlegs as well. It's easy to look back and see what the big hits of the year were to look back, but that's kind of revisionist history, whereas I've got the playlists of the music that I played back in 2011, so I can see what was actually being played in the club, not just what the anthems were. And there's some cool DJ tools in here as well, so we're going to go for some deeper cuts a little bit later as well. Let's get back in the mix. Another mashup by myself in the background now. Now I do remember this one because I played this one out for basically all of 2011. Just this drop always goes off in the clubs. Check it out.
Take over control, 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 take
Trying so hard along the life, we're spending no time to try. And if the road is long and high, ooh, we go ahead, don't give up. Cause we know we got the truth, and our Lord is what we do. Step by step, step by step. Anything flowing, I'll be there. Yes, I'll make you rise again. Step by step, day by day, we walk along the way. Step by step, day by day, we walk along the way. Step by step, day by day, we walk along the way. Step by step, day by day, we walk along the way. Step by step, day by day, we walk along the way. Step by step, day by day, we walk along the way. Step by step, day by day, we walk along the way. Still just need to hold your faith, you can trust me.
Taking things a little bit harder now in the mix. 2011 sounds. Ivan Karsten in the background with Heavy Tech.
I'll say do not give up and leave, and keep on walking hand by hand. You'll find the strength in all your friends. It's getting high and you will see the blue sky, the sun shining. You don't have to be alone. We're together, nothing wrong. Step by step, day by day, we walk along the way. Step by step, day by day, we walk along the way. Step by step, day by day, we walk along the way. You just need to hold your faith, you can trust me, hold it.
Really cool track in the background now, this one from D-Block and Estefan teaming up with DJ Isaac, In the Air. Doesn't sound anything extraordinary style-wise at the moment, which goes to show how far ahead of its time it was, because everyone was doing full-on pitch kicks, 2-minute breakdowns with a movie vocal, in a world where a man did something. You know, everyone was going through that phase. And they did this track, which was like super light and trancey. It was a little bit slower. I think it's 146 BPM this. Everyone else was writing at 150. Super ahead of the game. You know, when you think 2011, we're now in 2018, and you could still play this in a house DJ set. Super far ahead of the game. Massive fan of both D-Block and Estefan, and DJ Isaac as well.
Put your hands up in the air. 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 Put your hands.
Taking things that little bit tougher now in the mix. Plenty more beats to come. Got to cover hardstyle and hardcore yet. Some big tunes lined up. Keep it locked here on Twitch with myself, Kutski. Let's get back in.
Put your hands up in the air.
DJ Kutski in the mix.
Another cheeky little mashup of my own. This one, Marcel Woods versus Major Lazer versus Showtech. Pond the Bottle, Kutski mashup. So many mashups in 2011. I always wonder when I look back through my Discogs that, like, I think I put like one track out. I'm never the most prolific producer, but I think I put one track out in 2011, and then I'm looking back through the amount of mashups and edits that I made that year. Makes sense. But this one, another one, I really liked it.
Major Lazer.
On the floor.
Obviously not from 2011, but apparently I was playing this a lot in 2011. I'm looking back through the playlists. So why not relive yesteryear, 1992, Prodigy Out of Space. Shout out to DJ Brisk in the chat. What's happening, Chief? Long time no see. Legend in the game.
All right. Is there anybody out here tonight that in love? Let me see. For those of you that are truly in love, this song is for you. Go your head in the air. Go your head in the air. Go your head in the air. Go your head in the air.
Like I said, 2011 was my dubstep phase. Thing is now, everyone rolls their eyes and hates on it and is like, dubstep all the time. Back then, when you were playing these tracks out, it used to go off because everyone was expecting beats on the drops. When you heard all these crazy twisted noise, everybody'd be going crazy for it. And then sets would be put up online, and then 3 years later, when people decided dubstep was a dirty word, people would go and hate on it, going, I can't believe Kutski played dubstep. Just for the record, I still like it now. You know, I liked it when it wasn't cool. I liked it when it was cool. I liked it when it was cool to hate it. And now it's just kind of like, it's just like there in the past. I still like it. I don't really change my opinion that much on music. If I like it, I like it. You know, I'm a 36-year-old grown man and I still listen to Pengo Records and Happy Hardcore singing about Dancing on Stars and stuff like that. I always wonder if I'd never heard that music before when I was younger, would I like it if I heard it for the first time now? I'd like to think that I would, but you never know. It's one of them things is you could never know, could you? But it's, you know, it's purely the nostalgia, I think, you know, from listening to them tracks reminding me of better days raving in my youth, in my day. Anyway, back into the beats, no more dubstep for a minute. This next track, a really cool one. Speaking of dubstep stuff, you may know Dr. P, big dubstep producer from the UK, but you know plays out a lot in America. And he did this track. And I remember when I heard it, I absolutely loved it because it had a crazy happy hardcore break out of nowhere on the first drop. I remember sending him a message on Twitter, don't know the guy at all, saying really like that track, super cool. And he said, oh cool man, yeah. He goes, I got the idea for it when I was listening to your show on Radio 1 on the way back from a gig. So I can kind of take pride in having, not a hand in this track, but some influence anyway. Check it out, it's really cool.
I remember when I was young, and so were you. All of the things we both said we would never do. But look at how times have changed, baby. You know I can never say no, baby. I can only show you how my love goes down.
Kutski, you pussy motherfucker!
Seen a few people in the chat saying about the webcam, we need a better webcam. Yeah, that's one of the little cool things. I'm doing a lot of people sub the channel yesterday, which is really cool. So any money that does come in from the subscriptions, I'm gonna hopefully get the 4K version of that webcam and move it into a better position. Get the one that I've got at the moment, so that's like a bird's eye view of the deck. So there'll be like a window in a window type thing. But I don't want to rush out and just throw loads of money at the Twitch thing and just, kind of like throw all at it and then get bored of it in a couple of months. It's one of them slow burners, just a little side project. So I'm going to see if the whole thing can sustain itself, it can pay for itself. So if you do want to chip in on that, doesn't even have to come out your wallet. If you're an Amazon Prime member, you get 1 free subscription to Twitch a month. So you can throw that my way. Amazon are going to get the money back in the end because that's probably where I'm going to buy the new webcam from. So if you're a member of Amazon Prime, don't mind taking a couple of minutes to do that. That'd be much appreciated. And like I said, for the people that have been supporting the show with the subscriptions, I'm going to try and think of some cool stuff to do back for you guys, like maybe a subscribers mix where all of you, every subscriber, chucks in a track, and then we'll do a stream where I'll play all the tracks as suggested. Some cool stuff like that, like I said, just a side project in the evenings, not something that I'm super going balls deep on at the moment. But just a bit of a fun time when I've finished in the studio for the day, but before I eat, unwind, play PlayStation, all of that business. Just a couple of hours to unwind a couple of nights a week, why not? Let's see what we can build. Who knows? Because you never know where things are going in the future. This type of DJing could end up being the biggest thing. This could replace radio stations, I don't know. If it does, I want to be in there early doors. So, yeah, welcome along for the ride.
Keeping the rave alive.
DJ Kutski in the mix.
Another cheeky mashup that I hammered back in 2011. This one, another one that kind of shouldn't work because it's a little bit too cheesy. But every time I used to play this one out in the clubs, the drop used to go crazy.
Every day I'm shuffling. Every day I'm shuffling. I'm shuffling. I'm shuffling. Every day I'm shuffling. I'm shuffling. I'm shuffling. Every day I'm shuffling. I'm shuffling. I'm shuffling. Every day 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 I'm shuffling. Shuffle, 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 shuffle. You won't believe.
Get down, put your hands up to the sound. Get up, get down, put your hands up to the sound. Get up, get down, put your hands up to the sound. Put your hands up to the sound.
Shuffling.
background now, a name that you may have forgotten about. Wave Rider used to do real euphoric hardstyle stuff. You might not know. He's back in the scene again now under the name Andy Savage. Super cool guy. Even though his sound now is rougher and rawer, it's still got these melodic elements. So I'm really feeling it.
music stopped.
One in the background now from Ruthless and Phoenix entitled Rebels. I hammered this track back in the day. Of course, you know Ruthless still smashing it now with this kind of crossover jump freestyle sound. Phoenix might not be a name that's familiar to you, but if I said Hard Driver, would you know Hard Driver? Yeah, Phoenix used to do more jump style stuff, jump style bounce, all of that. Reinvented himself as Hard Driver, now one of the biggest names in the scene in hardstyle as well. Conquered two scenes as two different pseudonyms. Fair play.
And the music stopped. the music stopped.
Another jump style DJ back in 2011 who went on to have awesome success in the hardstyle scene. This one in the background, Tricky Nation, Tricky. Been 1,000 different remixes of this over the years. I think there's a new one to play every year. This one was a staple of my set in 2011 though. It was a Dr. Rude remix.
Kutski, you pussy motherfucker!
Remember what I was saying on the last stream about music being like toast? better with a bit of cheese on the top of it. This one, I used to hammer this. Nick Fish, Love the Way You Lie.
Just gonna.
Just gonna stand there and watch me burn. But that's alright because I like the way it hurts. Just gonna stand there and hear me cry. But that's alright because I love the way you lie. I love the way you lie. Just gonna stand there and watch me burn. But that's alright because I like the way it hurts. Just gonna stand there and hear me cry. But that's alright because I love the way you lie. I love the way you lie. I love the way you lie. Just gonna. Just gonna.
Just checking out the chat, I see there's a conversation going on about Xbox racing games, which leads me to a question that I've had for a while, because I'm not an Xbox person really, I'm more like Nintendo, PlayStation. But I did pick up an Xbox One. It's the first Xbox that I've had since I had a 360 at the start. I sold that, I got a PlayStation 3. So I haven't touched it, an Xbox, for like, 10 years? More than 10 years, 15 years. So Xbox One X got an offer for a good deal early on in the year, so I picked one up. Didn't really know what to get. Things like Halo, Gears of War don't really do anything to me, to be honest. But I do quite like arcade racing games. I got Forza with it, not really my cup of tea, it's a little bit too sim-based. So I got Forza Horizon 3. Man, all that game does is hammers me to spend money on it in loot boxes and stuff. What's going on with that? It's like, I don't know whether I'm missing something with a game, but it's like, whenever I try and play it, it's like I spend about 10 minutes driving to one race, then I get there and it goes, you haven't got that car. Do you want to buy that car with your in-game currency? I'm like, yeah, cool, because you haven't got enough in-game currency. Do you want to buy it with real money? I'm like, do I want to spend real money on it? So I drive off to the next race. Spend about 20 minutes driving to that, pottering around. Oh, you can fast travel, but if you fast travel, it uses up your in-game currency, which means I can't buy the cars. And I'm stuck in this loop after I played it for about 2 or 3 hours. Ended up fucking it off. But it feels so egregious that I think I've got to be missing something here. There's got to be some game mechanic that I'm missing. Can't figure it out. And every time I think to myself, I was hot-headed, I was in a bad mood, I'll figure it out now, I'll put it back on. Within about 45 minutes, I'm pissed off with it again. And it's got loot boxes, and we all know how I feel about loot boxes. But yeah, so if you're all Xbox racing fans in the chat, let me know I'm missing something. Maybe we can all get on together or something, and you can kind of guide me through Forza Horizon 3. Because I don't want to be angry at it. There's a new one coming out soon, isn't there? And I want to get it and I want to enjoy it. But if it's more of this bullshit, count me out. Let me know in the chat, am I missing something or is that it? This one was a free download at the time, a track by myself and Bioweapon 1. This was the 2011 Audio Freak remix, one of the first tracks Sam did under the Audio Freak name.
One is the loneliest number that you'll ever do. Two can be as bad as one. It's the loneliest number since the number one. Two can be as bad as one. It's the loneliest number since the number one.
LJC in the chat. Thanks for the subscription, mate. Appreciate that. a lot of people say get Burnout Paradise remaster for the PlayStation 4. Already have that. Absolutely awesome. Burnout Paradise, and was it Need for Speed Most Wanted, the open world one? I think it was the last one that came out on the PS3. Two of my favourite racing games of all time. Absolutely awesome stuff. That's why I wanted Forza Horizon to be really good. Wanted to recapture that vibe again. I don't know whether it can be done though. And arcade racing games. Why can't we have more arcade racing games anymore? Like Ridge Racer, Sega Rally, Daytona, all of that. It's all gone away. They don't have to be full price games. You don't have to charge £40 for them. Make one for like 25 or something. I'm sure there's enough diehards of arcade racing games that would be into that. When I was in Japan recently, I played, I think it was, Cruising USA on the Nintendo 64. There was a new version of that made by Nintendo in the arcades, and it was absolutely amazing. I searched it up online. Apparently, it's been out for a little while, arcade only. So put it on the Switch. I would literally pay you £100 cash right now to play that on the Switch.
Number one.
First, shitty rave music or the drugs?
Yeah, I think this one was my one of two tracks that I released in 2011 because of all the bootlegs. TNT, Techno Boy and Tune Boy, myself, Kutski, this is Success. Subsonic's in the chat saying Outrun. I went through a stage of trying to get a playable version of Outrun 2. They took it off the digital stores due to licensing with Ferrari. That had expired after 10 years. I bought it for the PlayStation 2 because it should have been backwards compatible with the PlayStation 3. That's one of about 5 games that doesn't work.
There are just a bunch of people sitting in a warehouse with a bunch of ketamine and ecstasy, and they took a bunch of it, and someone said, here, now make some music. Or, I wonder if it was just these non-music fuckheads who were, sitting in their house one day and they dicked around on a Macintosh and they go, listen, so you make music that shitty and everyone sits around and goes, God, this sucks. I'm gonna pick these drugs. 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 Drugs. Fuck, that's so good.
It got to the point where recently I was looking for arcade racing games, the actual arcades, because I've got a garage downstairs and there's not much in it other than a load of vinyl and a lawnmower that I only use twice a year. So I thought I could get a racing arcade cabinet in there. And then I had a look online thinking, well, I can't spend that amount of money on it. You can pick up like a Ridge Racer arcade for like 300 quid or something like that. I know it's going to be a different story trying to get it like back to the house and stuff like that. Maybe it needs maintenance or whatever, but I'm kind of thinking that could be fun. And then I thought, what it'd be like trying to tell my girlfriend that. And then I kind of put it on the back burner for now. Just make an arcade racing game for me, please. Apparently there's one indie game coming out called Drift, or something to do with drifting. Kind of basic graphics, but looks pretty cool. Very like Ridge Racer with the mechanics.
shitty rave music or the drugs? Or the drugs? Or the drugs? Or the drugs? These drugs? Or the drugs? These drugs? Or the drugs? These drugs? I'm gonna take these drugs. I'm gonna take these drugs. 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 Take these drugs.
Hey kids, don't take drugs. I'm not sure what Twitch's policy is. We've got the explicit tag on the channel. Super ravey vibes. It's Kutski in the mix, 2011. It's going for some hardcore soon.
Fuck, this sucks!
don't believe it's been slitting my throat is all I am. How long will I slide, separate my side? I don't believe it's been slitting my throat is all I
You know what's interesting looking back through this playlist? I don't think I played a lot of hardcore at the end of my sets in 2011. Just looking at the playlists now, there's always like one or two tracks of hardcore at the end. I suppose that fits about right. If we've got 10 minutes of the stream left, maybe we can drop a couple of hardcore tracks from that era. Then it is a true 2011 set. Civil Activities and the Viper mix of June I Can't Stop Raving. It's another one now, I can dig this one out at the end of my sets. It still sounds fresh as it did back in 2011. Remember, if you're enjoying the stream, don't forget to give me a follow on here, a sub if you're feeling generous. Be notified every time I go live. I try and go live, travel and work schedules permitting, Tuesday and Thursday evenings UK time, like maybe like 7 till 9 PM in the studio tomorrow night with Matt Crystal Matt from the UK, Raw Style producer. So that's Scrubs tomorrow off the cards. So we did last night and this evening. If you ever want to listen to the shows after the fact, they're stored up on Twitch for 30 days after the show, so you can listen to them here. Or I do grab the videos and I upload them to a YouTube channel that I've entitled Kutski Twitch Sessions. But there is problems with copyright on that, so I'd say 1 out of every 3 gets muted or pulled down straight away. So, you know, kind of you might see gaps in the episode numbers. That's why. It's not that I've been lazy, it's just, you know, some go up, some stay up. The audio also goes up on iTunes, Apple Podcasts. So if you've got an iPhone, just go to the podcast app, search Kutski Twitch Sessions. You can find the audio, full audio from each one of these little shows. And if you're on Android or you just want to stream the show, mixcloud.com/Kutski, Kutski. One more track after this one before I bail. But this one in the background now actually came out 2010, but I'm looking at my playlist. I was playing it a lot in 2011, so it kind of ticks the box for what we want to do here this evening. DJ Outblast, Kutski and Bioweapon remix of Eardrums.
My tea's gone cold, I'm wondering why I got out of bed at all. The morning rain clouds up my window, and I can't see it all. And even if I could, it'll all be great. But your picture on my wall, it reminds me that it's not so bad, it's not so bad.
Okay, last track to see you out of here this evening. I'm going to go eat and chill for a little bit. I might play God of War, still not finished that. Chipping away at it slowly. Thanks for joining me on the stream again. Be back next week, next Tuesday, I believe. Maybe I'll pop online if I manage to get a couple of hours. Maybe I'll try doing it at a random time of the day. Maybe it's better for Americans or people at work or something like that. So yeah, so if I get a chance to jump on, I will. So make sure you get on the Twitch app, get that installed, follow me on there, and you'll get a notification every time I go live, so then you can jump in. Enjoy the rest of your evening. As well, don't forget to sign up to the Keeping the Rave Alive podcast. That's the more professional one that I do once a week. You can find that on all the usual places. Audio podcast to download. And I will catch some of you Scottish guys up this weekend. I'm in Falkirk on Friday, Aberdeen on Saturday with Darren Styles. All the information for that, just check out any of my social medias. I posted up the flyers this morning. Nice and easy to find. Kutski, Kutski. Enjoy the rest of your evening, guys. Have a good one. Hope you enjoyed.